This tutorial is going to show you how to link your external style sheet. The external style sheet is another file that you will be creating that will have styles for your bio and index page. So let's pretend you already have your index page already completed, which most of you I'm sure already do. So we need to go into the head section of the index file. So we're going to be creating the link tag, and we're going to tell it how it's related to the document. And it is related in the sense that it is a style sheet. There are other things that you can use the link tag for. We'll see that later on. So we want to specify that we're going to be using this in relation to the document as a style sheet. The type of document is text and CSS, and then we're going to have the reference as the href is the hypertext reference, which is going to be, we're going to name our file external style sheet.css, and that's going to be the file that we put on the web server that will have our rules for our style, so that could be applied to any web page that we apply this link tag to. Okay, so then make sure that you save that, and then you will upload this file to the web server and overwrite the files that you have on the web server. Now nothing will change yet because we haven't actually uploaded the CSS file to the web server. So let's go ahead and create a new file, and we're going to do a save as. And I'm going to find my web files. I have a different one, a little bit different than yours because I've already created these. So I'm going to name it external style sheet. I've got to spell it right first. .css. It's important to add the CSS extension so the web server knows what kind of file it is, as well as your reference to the reference in the link tag to it also matches up. I already have an style sheet, so I'm going to say yes, because that's just my practice file anyway. Alright, so in the external style sheet, we're going to be creating rules. And we're going to take a selector, which is going to be a tag from here that we want to stylize. So in this case, let's say H1. We're going to modify the style of H1 for all our pages that we are going to use an H1 tag by using this external style sheet. So the external style sheet is just the rules of style that we're going to be applying to the index file. So I'm going to type in H1, and that's going to reference any H1 tag in any web page, and it's going to apply a specific style rule that we're going to apply to it. So the first rule we're going to put is that the text aligns to the center. And notice, as part of my syntax, that I have a curly bracket. On the next line is my property, which is the text align property, and colon, and then a value, and then semicolon. The next is going to be the font family, and then I'm going to add a couple of different font types. And I'm doing so in case one of the web browsers that is used by a user of my website, for some reason maybe the browser can't show Arial, so then it'll show Verdana. Um, so it's kind of like a default system. And then the color of my H1 is also going to be altered, and we're going to change it to a hex value, and then I'm going to end it with a closing curly bracket. So I've created my first rule for all H1 tags. Now it's very important that you follow syntax. To separate a property from its value, you use a colon. To end a phrase or a declaration, you end it with a semicolon. And that's what we've done here. And then our rule, our declarations, are within this curly bracket. So then we're going to create another one. I like to put spaces between mine. And this one's going to be for the body. Alright, so let's go back to the index. That means that in the body of our, which I need to put this, I don't have a body in here. I'm going to put a body tag in here. You may need to add this yourself as well. Now we're going to create a rule for the body, and remember the body is what we see when we pull up our web page. So it's the meat of our web page. It's everything we see. So we're going to tell the body, we're going to apply some rules that we're going to change the background to it to a pink color. For now, just use this color, and later on you can change it. Unless you're really good at this already, you may want to move ahead and change it to a different color. That's fine. I won't mark off for that. Alright, so we're going to say anything in the body, font family is going to follow the font of the ones that I'm indicating here. I'm spelling really bad today, or typing really bad. And we're going to change the font size to 14 pixel. And we're going to change the color. I think that's a blue color, if I'm not mistaken. And then we're going to end the declarations. So this now will be applied to anything in the body. We've created these rules. So how do you know what properties and what values to put? Well, you have to do some research. You learn as you go. When you start designing, you start thinking of different ways that you want to do things, like maybe applying an image to a background, or maybe you see a website that has some unique kind of background. Well, then you start to do some research. You can right click on web pages and read the code, and you can actually kind of steal code. Code is open. There is no copyrights on tags. It's open source in a sense. So you can copy and paste code from other websites. Now you have to be careful with that, because if something's a template could be created by somebody, and that could have a copyright to it, and that would be indicated at the bottom of the web page. So you do have to be careful about groups of code that have been created for templates. But if you're just finding a style or a property, and its value, chances are you're not infringing on anything. Alright, so then we're going to save this, and then you would upload this to the web server. And so then this would be reading when you point to your URL, it's going to point to the web server. The browser is going to look at this tag and say, oh, I need to go find the external style sheet on the web server and apply these rules to these tags, to the H1 tag and to the body tag. And then what it will do is it will apply that to the background. Alright, so next we're going to create the bio page. So as I was saying before, for the bio page we're going to have to do File, New. We're going to do a Save As, Bio. And I'm going to save it as bio.htm. Notice my save as type is txt. So if it says txt at the bottom, then you type in bio.htm. And then you hit save. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and I've said this before, just copy and paste your code from your index file and paste it in here. And look, you're almost finished. The only thing that you have to take out now are the H1 tags. So now you're going to type some paragraphs. We already have the body tag. We already created that. So we're going to create a paragraph tag. And they give you some questions in the rubric or the instructions for the assignment. And so you can type in, you know, you've been at Kaplan, or, oops, I have been teaching at Kaplan for over 5 years. Actually, it's been like 8. Let's see. And you'll want to put more than what I'm putting, but I'm just doing this for sake of time. And then you're going to create another one. And let's see, my hobbies are kayaking and computing. I have 2 cats. Alright, so then you're gonna keep creating a couple of paragraphs and then make sure that you save your changes. And then that's basically it. Then you're done. You just upload it to the web server and test it out. And make sure that you read through all of the information in the assignment, just in case I forgot anything. But I think I got everything. Remember to read through lessons 1 through 3 in your textbook or your ebook, because they talk about style sheets, so you get a better understanding of it. I'm going to run this. I'm going to run this in IE just to show you what it's going to look like. So this is what this would look like for your bio. And I think it actually has you add a title tag to here, to this, that says something else. But so make sure you read through the assignment very carefully, and that's basically what it's going to look like once you put in your URL. Make sure you put your URL to the Dropbox.